Good evening and welcome to the Monday night edition of Newsmax Prime. I'm J.D. Hayworth. Of prime interest tonight, Donald does Detroit, even as the establishment tries to do him in. Mr. Trump gives a speech in Motown that outlines a return to Reagan-esque prosperity and strikes the right notes. But insiders are not interested, attacking the GOP nominee through public letters and hostile press coverage. The way I see it, these Washington and New York elites are intent on doing to Donald Trump in 2016 what was done to Barry Goldwater in 1964. In his speech today to the Detroit Economic Club, the GOP nominee called for killing the death tax, making all child care expenses tax deductible, and cutting the corporate tax rate to just 15%. That is a welcome return to Reaganomics. The notion that Americans should keep more of their own money in their own pockets. Moreover, it's a discussion of ideas, something that the aforementioned elites claim they want to hear. Instead, though, the establishment moves to drown out the message, having 50 national security advisors sign a letter opposing Trump, recruiting an establishment Republican candidate to run as an independent, and empathizing with the outlook of the New York Times, which claims it has all the news fit to print, but acts as if news about Donald Trump gives the gray lady fits. John Bachman has more.
Apparently, JD, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say it at all, at least when the New York Times is talking about Hillary Clinton. The front page of their website today mentioned Donald Trump's economic speech, but it didn't really say much about Hillary Clinton or her recent short-circuiting of the truth. And now the New York Times even seems to admit that they don't know how to cover the Trump campaign.
Americanism, not globalism, will be our new credo.
Donald Trump in Detroit on Monday. But among the coverage of Trump's economic speech, an open question from the New York Times' own Twitter feed. Do normal journalism standards apply to covering Donald Trump? Well, I guess it depends on how you define normal.
God bless Donald Trump.
The Times recently posted this video on their webpage. It shows Trump's supporters, quote, expressing views in angry and provocative ways. Now, to the New York Times' credit, they do mention, quote, not everyone attending a Trump rally behaves in this way. In fact, many are polite and well-mannered. There's an obvious double standard here. Has the New York Times spent more than a year compiling video of Trump protesters expressing their views in angry and provocative ways? Recently in Pittsburgh, a Clinton supporter lit a flag on fire near a group of Trump supporters and then attacked one of them for trying to put it out. Last month, Paul Jones Jr., a veteran supporting Trump, was shot in Cleveland over a political argument. And remember that woman who was egged in San Jose, California? Those are parts of this story that are missing, according to Brandon Tatum, a police officer from Arizona who recently attended a Trump rally. And he had this to say about the protesters he saw.
These people are the most hateful, evil people that I've ever seen. I could not believe what I saw.
Now, again, if you take a look at that New York Times article, they asked the question, does the media need to change the way it covers Donald Trump? Well, the obvious answer is yes, but not for Trump, but for the way they cover politics in general. Last year, Gallup noted that only 4 out of 10 Americans trust the mass media. The fact that the New York Times is promoting the Trump video of those hateful voices without any kind of alternative or other side of the story has to be contributing to that, at least